Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is SoFlo Josh, and today I'm reviewing the 2019 Acura RDX Tech Package, front-wheel drive. Now, I know there has been a lot of reviews out there who have done the super handling all-wheel drive version of this model, but I wanted to do a front-wheel drive. There really isn't that many reviews out there of the front-wheel drive model, and I know there is a audience out there who are looking for the front-wheel drive model, but they keep on seeing all people do is super handling all-wheel drive, so I wanted to do a little bit different right now. So this model is the 2.0 turbo with making 272 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque to the front wheels. Now you might say that's a lot of torque to the front wheels, but honestly, Acura has designed such a great chassis with this model that there hardly is any torque steer at all for this model. Now, about the front end, let's talk about the front end. So you see here's the huge Acura logo. The Acura logo houses all of Acura Watch's safety tech. That is frontal collision, mitigation system, everything. It has everything that you are looking for when it comes to safety tech. And this is of course a crossover, but this is a perfect beginner family vehicle, as it has so much space and so much value for it that you just don't want to pass it up, of course. So, as you can see, the side of the vehicle. The side of the vehicle is so nice. You have these beautiful lines that start all the way from the front of the fender going to the side. It disappears, but then a new one begins out of nowhere. I love designs like that. They have a very great design team right now that's going on in Acura. I have seen the new TLX in person, the new MDX in person, and they've done a phenomenal job. So the rear. These are Acura's Dragon Tail taillights. A lot of people like to call it the lobster claw, of course, but I personally think that it kind of looks like a little bit of a dragon's tail. Down here, you have the exhaust pipes. There are dual exhaust pipes. They are not variable. They both are active the whole entire time. You have your reflector lamps right here. You have your reverse lights here, of course. They are LED, by the way. Speaking of non-LED things, this is non-LED. I don't like that. I hope that they fix that in the facelift model that's coming at the end of this year. Acura, I think this is a little cheap in my opinion. So getting to the rear, you have this amazing back end here. You have little slots of honeycomb, but they are, I would say, they're not even open at all, and they don't really provide any kind of flow. I think that's a bad decision on Acura's part. They should have done something. I know the A-Spec model gives you a diffuser and gives you those holes, this little section right here in a glossy black design. You have sensors here for the backup system. You have your rear camera up here. You have your badge, of course. The exhaust tips, as you see, they are pretty big. The A-Spec models get bigger ones, of course, because that's a more sporty optioned trim, of course. I'm getting to the side again, like I was mentioning. Let's talk about the rims. These are 18-inch rims. I'm not a big fan of these rims. They are double spoke, of course. I like more of the 19-inch rims that you get in the A-Spec package. They look so much more cleaner, nicer, and I believe they are actually easier to clean. This is pretty easy to clean, but I feel like the ones on the A-Spec look a lot better and designed better, in my opinion. Here you have your side mirrors. They are full LED. Of course, you can't see it right now because the sun is showing. As you can see right there, actually you can see a little bit of the LED going on. Back to the front end, you have these prominent hood sculpts here. I really like this design. In the road, you can actually see it over the hood. It kind of points you in the right direction. It's precision, crafted performance, like what Acura tagline is right now, that they even brought it back from the 1980s, and I think they did a phenomenal job. Here in the front, you have these side vents, but they're not even vents, they're honeycomb again. They are not open, but there is a little air curtain right here that goes through for aerodynamic purposes. I don't really like that much, to be honest with you. Again, it's cheap, it looks bad. I know that maybe there might be a performance model coming down the line, like a Type S model, that might have this whole entire section open. Getting back to the grill, like I mentioned, this is the Active Safety Tech Acura watch. It has all the safety techs that you can get, especially in the tech package. You get a little bit more. You have these nice gloss black kind of design. It's like the Acura logo is the center stage, and it's just everybody on the side is just watching to see what Acura is going to be doing next for their models. I love that. I love the design. At the bottom, as you see, you have honeycomb again. Those are going to be for the intercooler, so that it can cool the engine. And of course, you have your LEDs. Your LEDs are on the top. They're not on the bottom with the chicane type of style LED daytime running lamps. You have your jewel eye LEDs, and then you have your turn signals on the top, of course. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the interior, of course. As you can see, perfect design. I love this design that they're going for in the interior. It has these lines that show, you know, that it's so well crafted. I'm just in awe with the design. This is all leather. Everything you touch is leather except for this part on the top. This is like a synthetic kind of material, but it's soft touch, but everything is leather. You do have your ELS studio system that comes standard in the tech package. It is not in the base model, but the tech package just gives you the 12 speakers for ELS. Back down over here, you have power for the seats. Back, you got a lumbar. You have your back sway, so that you can go ahead and adjust the back part of the seat. You have all your safety tech over here. You have your parking sensors, traction control off, mitigation right here, and lane departure, as well as I forgot to mention that this does come with the blind spot detection. You have your emergency parking brake here. You press down to engage it. Press up to, you have to press the brake in order for it to go ahead and disengage. So let me go ahead and show you that. There we go. It's off now. So let's get to the steering wheel. Steering wheel is really well crafted. It has the right amount of bolstering here on the side. It's perfect. My fingers fit perfectly around here. The steering wheel itself is just beautiful. I have driven a TLX A-Spec that has a more aggressive, quilted kind of leather-wrapped steering wheel, but I do like this one for especially the tech package. I do really like it. You have all your switches here for your information here. Let me close the door really quick. You have your information systems here. You know, you have your trip computer, navigation, where you're going, which is, you know, your compass. You have your oil life pressure, your tire pressure, of course. Minimal is basically just sport gauge setting. You have your sport gauge settings show in Sport Plus, so let's go ahead and switch it to Sport Plus. All right, so now you have a turbo gauge actually on the top left, and you have your accelerator on the top right over here. You have your fuel gauges on the right. You have your oil temperature on the left. You continue and you can see your speed distance unit, standard, typical. That will tell you your speed if you go ahead and press it. US standard. I think whenever you start putting it in drive, then it will show your actual speed, if I'm not mistaken. And then it goes back to your trip computer. So you go to your apps. You actually have your phone there. It says it right there, phone. Customizable apps, Apple CarPlay, auxiliary input. Of course, you could still do auxiliary in this car. I personally like using the Apple CarPlay. It's actually very more intuitive to use it on here when you're driving, so then you're not taking your eyes off of constantly the road, looking at the display. Speaking of the display, this is Acura's new non-touchscreen display that they've incorporated since the RDX model came out. This exact screen is a precision one. You have a true one-to-one positioning. You just put your finger on the trackpad and it shows it right there. As you can see, that it's literally going to the right direction. Let's go ahead into navigations. Navigations goes ahead. It goes ahead and takes a little while for it to show up, but it does show in crystal clear. I really like the way the resolution looks on this display. They've done a phenomenal job on upgrading that as a whole, to be honest. But yes, it is a little bit difficult sometimes to get used to. You press home and you can hear on the side there is a side screen, of course. You go up and down to go ahead and view whatever little screen that you want to have on the side. If you want to have your little navigation on the right, and then you want to have, your Apple Car playing music on the right side, you could do that as well, with the main screen being here. I kind of like this. I like it a little bit, to be honest, but I mean, it takes a lot of time to get used to it. I mean, it's one of those systems that you're really gonna have to get familiar with owning this vehicle. You have your push buttons for your transmission. There's no shift lever. All Acuras come like this now. You press reverse here, and then it shows you your resolution for your camera. The resolution's not too bad. I've seen a little bit better. I wish that Acura would have done and take up the whole entire screen. They should have done that, to be honest with you. It's just so small, and I rather just see a bigger view. I know the camera can go ahead and take that. I know that the Acura has the technology to go ahead and do that. They could do that, of course. You have your neutral. You press into neutral. You have your drive, and you have your sport for the transmission as well. Speaking of transmission, this is a in-house 10-speed automatic transmission. It is actually phenomenal. I'll show you guys when I do the driving review. Speaking of headroom, we do have the panoramic sunroof. This comes standard in every model, even from the base. I really do like that. A lot of cars do not give you that as a base option at all. You have to spend $1,000, $1,500 just to get that, and I think that's a little expensive, to be honest. Then let's go ahead and look at the headroom that I have here. I'm 6 foot tall. Of course, with that sunroof that I have open right now, I would say about 4 inches, which is not that bad actually. It's actually pretty good for headroom space. Let's go ahead and talk about the audio system. Let me tell you, this audio system, the ELS Studio, is phenomenal. I love this system. You have speakers right here. They are finished in aluminum. By the way, Acura said that everything you touch here that you see that looks aluminum is aluminum. That's basically it. And it's true. Everything feels like the material feels so good. I like the grill that you have here for your speaker. You do have a speaker up here on both sides, as well as the 2 speakers back here on the side of the door panel. I really, really do like this sound system. This is honestly better than what Bowers & Wilkins has, or Harman Kardon. Harman Kardon is one of kind of like the competition for that. You see it in a lot of German brands. Personally, the Harman Kardon doesn't have as great of a bass or a great tone at all. I've listened to multiple songs in here with bass, without bass, jazz, everything, and it just sounds phenomenal. I love it. You have your heated seats here. You can put it in auto as well. If you do get the other models, for example, the A-Spec package comes with heated and cooled seats. And there is an auto function that works perfectly for whenever you're in an environment that's hot or cold. It automatically sets, for example, it will set this up already, putting it at 3, but it doesn't. I don't really need that. It's hot over here. You have dual climate control right here. Perfect for whenever, for example, your passenger is cold or hot, and they can go ahead and change it to their desired temperature. You have your fan speeds up here. The fan speeds are pretty good. The cooling in this car is very, very good as well. I will say that it's actually better than the previous vehicle that I just reviewed, the BMW X2 M35i. That model's cooling system wasn't the best. It's not too fast. This one is really fast. It cools the interior very fast. You have a frameless rear view mirror. Beautiful. I like frameless. I don't like the whole entire, let's go ahead and make it bulky with a huge ton of bezels right there. I don't like that at all. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the back seat now. So one thing that I forgot to mention when I was doing the review of the interior is you have this little pocket right here that is perfect for your phone, as well as this little USB here as well. So then you can connect your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have your 2 cup holders here. You have your cubby right here, so you can put your snacks, for example, these snacks, your anything that you have as well. Going over here, you have your glove compartment. It's all plastic. It's not lined with felt at all. And there, it's pretty big though. It fits a lot of things. It probably fit a perfectly sized iPad in there. Not even gonna lie. For the rest of the interior is still probably one of the best crafted interiors that I've sat in, and I've sat in a lot of interiors for cars. So Acura did a really great job for this interior. All right, so the back seat. Simple. The door opens very, very wide. This is why I'm saying that this is a very good car for a family who is just starting out. You have a baby on the way. Perfect car to get. Look how easily open. It's super, super wide. Look at that. I love it. I love how wide it gets. You do have your speaker system in the back here, the ELS system as well. Let's get back into the back seat right now. You have your cup holders, of course, down here. Perfect size. I think that these are plastic, of course. You have a little pocket too for your kids who want to put snacks there in the back. And good thing is that you actually have vents in the back. A lot of, like I've said it before, a lot of companies are not even offering this in the back seat. That you have to go for a high level of a trim level just to get this. You have 2 USB charging systems for whenever your kids are playing with their little iPads or their iPhones or whatever. Headroom is really, really good too as well. I am, like I said, 6 foot, as you can see. I have at least 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of headroom. Again, leg room though, look how much I'm sitting far back. I'm not sitting far back. I'm actually sitting upright with my feet like this. Perfect. Look at this. Look how great the amount of space that you have here. I have at least a solid 5.5 inches here. That's phenomenal. I really like that. That shows that you can actually fit perfectly a baby seat back here without any issues at all. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the cup holder location. As you know, I am not a huge fan of companies doing cup holders here. You press it and it goes here. I mentioned that in my previous video for my X2 M35i. Cup holders, good size. They fit American drinks. Perfect for the kids whenever you take them to McDonald's to get their Happy Meals. Simple as that. But yes, the panoramic sunroof goes all the way back too. It doesn't open all the way back, but the shade does open all the way back, and I think that's a phenomenal thing. I really like that a lot. So let's get into the trunk and let's see how that is. So trunk space, very, very simple. Open the door right here. It's gonna go ahead and open. As you can see, it is huge. Let me tell you, this is probably the biggest cargo space I've seen. I believe it is 72 cubic feet of space. With the seats folded down and using this little area right here, it is a total of 108 cubic feet of space. I'm honestly shocked that that's, for how small this car can probably look outside, it's huge in the inside. And I love how Acura did that. I love how Acura went ahead and did that. So to fold down the front seats, you pull this tab here. As you can see, perfect, folds down. This goes ahead, this is a 60-40 split. Actually I think it's 60-40 split actually, yes. You could see that 108 cubic feet of space with the seats folded down. I love that. It's a really good job, and I think that Acura did a good job entirely with the whole cargo space in the rear. You could literally have a picnic in here, a beautiful date with your wife or your husband or whoever you desire to date, or this is a great space, and I love that. It's really great. So let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. I'll see you guys out on the road. All right, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive right now. Simple thing. Press your foot on the brake. There's the button right there. It's simple. Super, super simple. I like it. You have in drive. I'm going to put it into sport transmission. Actually, let's go ahead and put it in drive. Let's see how it drives for right now. Super easy turning ratio. I love it. The car is very, very responsive. Now, that 4-cylinder is really, really great too. I personally like the way that this 2.0 turbo drives. They did a really good job at detuning it on this specific model compared to, let's say, the other Acura models. The TLX doesn't have the greatest response with this engine at all. But I believe that this engine has such a great amount of torque at the low end. It really does phenomenal, and I think that you'll see it right now when I take it onto the road. As you can see, I have the Apple CarPlay as well. Right there, pops up. Super simple. Let's go ahead and merge onto the road. Super easy. It's very simple. Guys, this is probably one of the best engines that Acura has ever put in the RDX model to this date. I love the way that this engine feels. Let's go ahead and put it in Sport Plus mode. Yeah, it's already in Sport Plus, actually. I didn't know that. Let's go ahead and drive a little hard, too. Let's see. Phenomenal. I love the way this engine responds immediately. You put it down, you put your foot on the accelerator, and it goes. That's due to the fact that this engine has such a low end torque, and they did a phenomenal job with keeping that promise. As a true performance, precision crafted performance is Acura's whole entire nameplate right now, and they stay true with this engine. I love it. It's, oh my god, it's fantastic. So the ride handling, let's go ahead and put it back in comfort mode. As you can see, you press this here. Comfort mode, everything gets softened up. You don't feel any kind of harshness, even in Sport Plus mode. I gotta say, a lot of cars, when you put them in Sport Plus mode, you feel a lot of the harshness within the chassis. You feel all the bumps on the road. But in this one, let me tell you, I felt nothing when I was driving in the Sport Plus mode, even on the way over here to go film. This model in comfort mode, like I was saying, very, very good, very posh. You feel like you're on a cloud, especially for an Acura. This is very, very good. I have driven, like I mentioned, the TLX A-Spec model. Oh, actually no, the advanced model with the adaptive dampers, and even that model felt pretty good as well with the way that the car handles. But yes, getting back, as I mentioned in the past, I don't really like how hard it is to understand this whole entire system here. Let me go ahead and take it to home. As I told you, it's one-to-one positioning. You take it around the area, but once you're in CarPlay, that whole entire situation gets done out of the deal. You have to swipe it like if you're swiping right on Tinder or swiping left on Tinder, of course. I wouldn't know anything of that. But as I said, it's very difficult to get used to. But once you get used to it, I think you'll get the hang of it. I personally, when I was driving over here, I got the hang of it. It's very simple. The only thing, there's a lot of menus, kind of like how BMW does a lot of menus. But I mean, what kind of infotainment system doesn't have so many menus to get into? But yes, gas mileage for this car, I believe I read online it was 27 mpg for city, and I think for highway it was 30. If I'm mistaken, I'll put that in the annotation below. You'll see me correct it. But yes, the car really does have pretty good fuel economy for this specific engine. Like I mentioned, there is a facelifted model coming out at the end of this year, probably around the October time, since we just saw the spy shots about 3 months ago. I believe we'll be finding out about that probably 3 months from now. But if you're gonna go ahead and get this model, I would probably wait until the facelifted model coming out, because I have heard that there is gonna be a better infotainment system. It's not gonna be touchscreen, but it's gonna be a better infotainment coming from the MDX. There might be a complete digital gauge cluster. I know a lot of people are really huge on that. And there might be a sport hyper model coming as well, which would help out a lot with horsepower for this chassis. But yeah, personally, I would probably wait. This model is still good. If you're looking to get this model, I suggest you go ahead and get it. I'll go ahead and add the pricing down below as well. But yeah, this is really, really good. I love the way that this leather feels here. Everything in this car is perfectly, done. I really think that they've done a great job with this whole entire vehicle. And like I mentioned, the audio system in this car is phenomenal. It has such a great sound system. It's just nobody can compete with the sound system in this category right now. It's just that good. So, but yeah, that's gonna be it for SoFlo Josh. I hope you enjoy this video review. It's one of the, I would say go ahead and go out and lease it. Personally, you lease it, you can get a new car every 3 years. But if you're gonna go ahead and looking for a certified pre-owned, you can go ahead and do that, which is another great thing. Acuras tend to go ahead and stay, the maintenance for those costs are pretty low, and they're more reliable compared to your average German manufacturer vehicle. So yeah, but that's it for SoFlo Josh. I hope you enjoyed this video review. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know to make sure you like and subscribe on the channel. I hope you guys really appreciate today's video. Please do let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the video and what you liked and disliked about the video itself. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.